morning, Monster Energy to all of you. The next couple of tech videos that we're going to do are based upon a single theme. We're just going to be having a discussion regarding the things that make the biggest difference to your productions. So I guess the very first way to start this is to talk about the reference trap. So as a mixer, one of the things that we are told is to reference our mixes with some of our favorite songs done by our favorite mix engineers, done by our favorite producers. This is all well and good until you start going down rabbit holes that, frankly, are fruitless. And I'm going to tell you why. Other than just overall balance and where things sit in the mix, that's all you can really reference. In your home studio, you have limitations. Gear would be one of the first things. Your space is another, your monitoring, but the most important piece is the quality of the tracks that you are mixing. You are likely referencing a song that was tracked in Blackbird Studios or Energy, Sunset Sound. And when you start comparing your mixes to the tracks done in one of those places, you're going to come up short. And that's where we start falling into this trap. We start correcting things. I love that snare. How do I replicate that snare sound? The answer is you don't. They might have had a Pearl Masterworks snare with fiber skin heads, tuned by a drum tech from SIR Studios, mic'd with who even knows. That Pearl Masterworks snare with $1,000 worth of microphoneage on it into preamps that probably cost more than your rent for several months into an 1176, a real one, is going to be a whole lot different than an old Enforcer snare drum with beat to crap heads on it that you can see through the powder coat with an SM57 on the top and maybe one on the bottom. You are not going to be able to match that Pearl Masterworks sound with what you got. There is no way. Now, can you get a good snare sound with that Enforcer, with that mic setup? Absolutely. You're trying to make an apple taste like an orange, even if you use samples. Samples will only mask some of the characteristics that you're trying to mitigate. There was a time when I was doing professional recordings in basically a cracker box storefront on Main Street. The room dimensions were just wildly strange. Somehow it got, decent sounds. But that room is not going to sound like Sunset Sound. My room here sounds good. It's a great drum room. It's a great live tracking room. It is not Sound City. It's a real simple thing. If you're trying to replicate a Les Paul through a Mesa Boogie Dual rectifier, you're not going to be able to replicate that sound with a Fender Stratocaster through Blues Junior. I don't care what your level of expertise or mastery is. That's alchemy. That's like turning lead into gold. The limitations of your studio, the limitations of your mic locker. Now, there's a lot of people out there that say, well, it's not the gear, it's the ear. It's actually both. That's a hard thing to hear, because you can have all the skill in the world, and if you're just given crap to mix, at the end of the day, it's garbage in, garbage out. But when you're doing your references, self-awareness is huge. Knowing what it is that you're working with versus what was done by these pros. People beat themselves up too much in that reference process. It's a hard thing. All right, everyone. I hope you guys are having a great day out there. We're going to talk about some of this some more in more detail. Remember, I'm not rich. I'm not famous. I don't know everything. But it's been a hell of a ride. We'll catch you out there.
We can throw a song in the wind and the clear blue sky.